This presentation is in relation to backing chords in a minor key. This can come up at Junior Cert, but it hasn't come up in quite a few years. It is still on the syllabus. We have to watch for it. So, how do I know if my backing chords question is in a minor key? Well, you look at the music. So if you look at your music here, this is a typical backing chord question. We have 2 lines of music, we have all our chord boxes marked, and then we have 1 line of music. When we look at our music, you mean look physically at the notes along underneath the boxes, okay? So what are we looking for? In a minor key, there will be accidentals within the music, so not just in the key signature. So we're looking out for sharps, flats, and naturals within the lines of music themselves. So let's take a look. So those flats and there are part of the key signature, so we ignore those. But if we look along the rest of the music, there's one. And if we keep going, there's another, and there's another. Those accidentals give us a hint that we're probably in a minor key. The next thing we look for is that the last note will usually not match the key signature. So in the key we're in, we expect this key to be B flat. 2 flats is our key of B flat. So we'd expect the last note to be B flat. But when we go and look at it, the last note is actually G. The red arrow there marking the last note. So it doesn't match what we expected it to be. Finally, because we're doing a backing chord question, the first couple of chords are usually given. And in the case of a minor key, the first chord will usually be minor. Now this is not always true, but it is often true. So if we look at our music here, we were given the first couple of chords, and the first chord is G minor, so not the B flat that we would expect it to be. So if we combine all of those, we have our minor chord, an unusual accidental in 3 of them actually, and that final note being being the B flat that we expected, that gives us a minor key. So the minor key is always the 6th up from the expected key signature. So we had 2 flats in this question. 2 flats means it's in the key of B flat. So literally on your hand, count it up carefully. So our first is B flat, then C, then D, then E, then F, and then G. G is our 6th, so this key is G minor. Then obviously you use the key signature that was given for those 2 accidentals. That's why I've marked B flat and E flat. And also if you take a look back where we were a second ago, the key is G minor. That G minor now actually does match the first chord box in the question. The big thing that you have to remember, and the reason this is really important, is because your chord box is slightly different to a major key. The 3rd and the 7th we still don't use, so that stays the same. We never use the 3rd or the 7th in our backing chords question, whether it's major or minor. However, normally we would have our 2nd and 6th to be minor and need the little M beside them. If you're in a minor key, like we are here, we're in G minor, then it's not the 2nd and 6th, it's the 1st and 4th. So that's the big change. The 1st and the 4th are minor, meaning they're G minor and C minor, and they need the little M or you lose the marks, 3 of the 5 marks. The other change is that the 2nd is diminished. Now this one we don't have in a major key at all. All it is DIM, okay? And as you know from your previous questions, most of the time you can actually get away with your key chords 1, 4, and 5. But just in case you need to use the 2nd chord, the 2nd chord needs to have a DIM. Okay? So just a reminder, the rest of the question works exactly the same as always, but you just need to remember, if you see all of those signs, the extra sharps or flats, the last note not being the key signature note, and the first chord box maybe not matching the key signature. Once you've established it's in a minor key, then you just have to remember the 1st is minor, the 2nd is diminished, 3rd is not used, 4th is minor, 5th is major, 6th is major, and the 7th is not used. Okay, so just a quick recap. How do I know if it's in a minor? Look at the music. We have a minor chord at the start, we have unusual accidentals, and we don't have the final note matching what we expect the key